The Anomaly, Tensura X Data Live, by Nocturne_Chapter 13, The Eighth Spirit. A few days later after Rimuru transferred to Raizen High School, Rimuru just woke up from a sleep that felt like eternity to her. She went downstairs and saw everyone gathered in the kitchen. "What are you all doing?" Rimuru asked. "Rimuru, good morning," Toka said with enthusiasm. "We're making hot pot for Shido, you should join us too, Rimuru." "Sure." Rimuru nodded and walked towards the hot pot they made. Rimuru looks at the hot pot with a horrified expression, as the hot pot made her remember Shien's cooking. "What did you guys put inside to make this color?" Rimuru asked, still horrified. "Well, we each put our favorite foods inside. It's your turn now," Toka said as she looked at Rimuru with gleaming eyes. Rimuru looks back at the hot pot. "Seal, what ingredients did they put inside?" Answer: bread, ice cream, a nugget and a fried chicken. "I see," Rimuru said. She was still horrified but managed to calm down after a while. "Well, Rimuru, what are you gonna put?" Toka asks. "Let's see." Rimuru put one takoyaki in the hot pot. "I don't know Rimuru's favorite food. Now the hotspot is ready," Toka said with excitement. A few minutes later, Shido and Katori go to the spirit house together, but then they get greeted by the girls when they get into the spirit house. Toka told him to sit on the table and wait. She grabbed the hot pot and put it on the table. Shido had the exact reaction as Rimuru did as he looked at how the hot pot looked so disgusting. "Dig in, Shido," Toka said eagerly. "No need to hold back. Have a bite," Yoshinon from Yoshino's hand said. What is this?" Shido asks. "Foolish question. It is a hot pot," Yuzuru said with her usual robot-like speech. "We all wanted to make you something, so we made this," Yoshino said with a soft voice. "Thanks, but what did you put in here to make it this color?" Shido said with a horrified voice. "We used only the finest ingredients. Each of us put in our favorite foods," Kagaya said with a proudful voice. Shido looked at Rimuru. "Does that mean Rimuru did as well?" Shido asks. "I did. I also put my favorite food along with the others," Rimuru said hesitantly. Wow, isn't that nice, Shido? They made this delicious-looking dish for you," Katori said with a horrified voice as she looked at Shido beside her. "Get it while it's hot," Katori said as she grabs the soup ladle. Shido looks back at the girls. Toka had sparkling eyes as she waited for Shido to eat it. "You should add something too, Katori. Add the final touch to complete this masterpiece," Kagaya said to her. Katori looked at them. They had sparkling eyes except for Rimuru. Katori hesitated for a while, but she put her lollipop afterwards. "Katori's put her food in too," Toka said with excitement. "Now it'll be even tastier," Yoshino said with a soft voice. Shido hesitated as she mixed the ladle around the soup, and then grabbed some and put it in a bowl. He looked at Katori with a face that seemed to say, "I don't want to." Katori just nodded as there was no way Shido could escape and he just needed to eat it. Shido then proceeds to eat a spoonful. Everyone was watching with anticipation. "Wait," Shido said as he takes in the taste of the hot pot. "How is it, Shido?" Toka asks eagerly. "It's actually not bad," Shido said with a shocked expression. The girls were happy and glad that Shido said that the hot pot was good. Except for Rimuru and Katori though. Eventually, the others quickly took a seat. "I knew Yuzuru's fried chicken would bring the taste together," Kagaya said. "Negative. It was Kaguya's pork cutlet, that's what makes it so savory," Yuzuru insisted. "Huh? No, it was yours. Insist, it was Kaguya's. You two never change," Katori said. "Let's just call it a miracle collaboration that took everyone's help," Yoshinon in Yoshino's hand said. "They said on TV that stew is good no matter what you put in, and it's true," Toka said. "Must be, for something of this color to be edible," Katori said with doubt. Shido looked at Rimuru. She was just chilling and seemed to be thinking of something else. "Rimuru, where is Seal anyway?" Shido calls out. "Oh, Seal? She's inside me right now," Rimuru said to him. "I see," Shido said with a low tone. Shido laughs nervously before trying to change the subject. "It's a shame that Miku couldn't be here to join us. Can't be helped with her work." "Darling, did you call me?" Miku said, inside the TV. Huh? Shidu was shocked as he stood up from his chair. Hi. I heard all of your lonely calls. So the spirit idol, Miku Izayoi, has made her appearance at last, Miku said as she barged in from the door. Miku? Huh? Both Shidu and Toka were confused. Then you singing is? Toka said as she wanted an answer. A recording that looks like it's live, Miku confirmed to Toka. Anyways, what are you all doing? Are you having a party, all together like this? Oh, speaking of which, I'm pretty sure it's my birthday today. All I want for a present is a hot kiss from everyone. Miku closed her eyes, really expecting a kiss from everyone. Yuzuru hides to Kaguya's back. Huh? What are you doing? Kaguya said as she panicked. Defense. Kaguya barrier. Yuzuru uses her to block Miku's kiss attack. Wait. Stop it. Miku. Get back on the TV at once, Toka exclaims. Yuzuru, come on, don't be shy, that's enough, Miku. I need you for Kaguya barrier. Let me go, I said. Stop. They were all playing around the living room. Rimuru was just sitting completely unaffected. The others were watching as they went. Kotori, aren't you gonna try to stop them? Rimuru asks. You don't have to tell me, I was already planning to do that. Kotori jumps in front of Miku, but passes her and she slaps Miku's back and falls down on the floor. Everyone eventually settled in and went back to their seat. I see, so that's why you're all having stew, Miku said. Anyways, it's good to have you here. It's hot, so be extra careful, Shidu said as he hands Miku a bowl. Oh, my, what a peculiar color. Here goes nothing, Miku then proceeds to eat a portion with chopsticks. Hot, Miku said, even only touching it a millisecond. Are you okay? That's why I warned you, Shidu said with concern. Darling. I seem to have burned my poor lips. Unless you kiss them, they'll never heal, Miku said, which clearly was a lie. Shidu tried to back away a little, but Miku was already going for a smooch before Toka interrupted. What are you on about, Miku? That's not how burns work, Toka said with an angry look. Pain. Shido, I have also burned my lips. I need urgent care, Yuzuru said as she raised her hand. Hey, no fair, Kaguya said, then gobbling her own stew up and her lips got burnt, too. Hey, Shido. Don't forget Yoshino, Yoshinon in her hand said. Toka seeing the others, she also proceeded to eat her stew whole. Shido. I accidentally burned my lips as well, you guys, Shidu said with disbelief. Oni-chan. I think I did, too, Kotori said while faking her tears and changed into her white ribbons. White ribbon out of nowhere, Shidu said with a shocked face. Eek. Is everyone alright? Don't worry, I'll make you all feel better right away, Miku said as hearts came flying out her mouth. Hey! Everyone except Rimuru screamed at Miku. Then the doorbell rang. Shidu went to see who it was. And the one waiting for him was none other than Origami herself carrying her own hot pot. Oh Origami, Shidu said with a shocked face. I made a hot pot, too, Origami said with her usual calm demeanor. You did? Shidu then grabbed the hot pot from her. Thank you. Origami then removes the lid from the pot, revealing the stew. It looked disgusting. It was even worser than the girls made. It's a turtle, scorpion, and seal body parts, boiled in an energy drink, she said completely while keeping a straight face. Please tell me your thoughts the next time we meet. She was totally ignoring the face Shidu was making. Origami then rushed off to leave before taking a peek, then leaving. Shidu fell down on his knees with regret. Then a sudden spacequake alarm occurred, catching the attention of Shidu and the other spirits. Shido. Kotori goes back to her black ribbon or commander mode. Rimuru Pav hearing the spacequake alarm. Rimuru stood up and quickly tried to go to her room until Kotori interrupted her. Rimuru, what are you up to this time? Kotori said with suspicion. The past few days, Rimuru had been hiding her presence so Ratatosker couldn't find her. And this proved to be annoying to Kotori, so she knew what Rimuru was about to do this time. So she brought her to Fraxinus and was constantly reminded to not act on her own. When it was finally over, Rimuru thought she was free to go. But now, she finds herself being forced to stay at Fraxinus and assist the others in supporting Shidu to seal the new spirit. Rimuru couldn't escape because Kotori had given her a set of cameras to keep an eye on her. Can things get any worse? Rimuru muttered to herself. Come on, Rimuru, let's cheer up a bit, said Kotori from the commander seat. Rimuru wore a bored expression and responded. How joyful is it to be forced to come up here and witness these things? It's an exaggeration to say, caught. This is asking for help, Kotori replied. It's the same. Rimuru sighed. At this point, Kotori gave up on Rimuru and turned to the main screen, addressing Shidhu, highs. Okay. Whatever, but don't try to hide. As if it couldn't get any worse, Rimuru was forced to wait until evening because the spirit was hard to find. Shidhu Pav. You're all set, Shido? Kotori said. Yeah. Whenever you're ready. Shidhu then gets teleported in the middle of a broken theme park. How do I put it? So eerie, Shidhu said as he started to walk around to find the spirit. This park has been abandoned since the Great Spatial Quake. It's far enough from redevelopment that it's still untouched to this day, Kotori said through comms. Then it's as it was 30 years ago, Shidhu said while looking around. The spirit moved from the spatial quake's origin to that area somewhere. Make contact before the ast shows up, said Kotori. Roger that. What the heck? Shidhu said with a surprised expression. What is it? Kotori said, immediately demanding an answer. The buildings in front of Shidhu were oddly different. It was not broken like anything else in the theme park. This can't be what it was like. There's just no way, Shidhu said with disbelief. It's faint, but we're detecting spirit waves nearby, said by boss Mikimoto. What you're seeing was manifested by a spirit's powers, said by nail knocker Shizaki. You hear that, Shido? The spirit we're after is close by, Kotori said. Seeing that no one was paying attention, Rimuru quickly erased her presence and stood up. But just as she was about to teleport to another location, she heard Kotori's voice. Where are you going to hide, Rimuru? Kotori asked without even looking at her. Startled by Kotori's voice, Rimuru reappeared with a disappointed expression. How can I still be found out? She murmured to herself. Rain stepped in front of Rimuru and spoke softly. Every time the system can't find your picture, it reports it to the main screen. So don't try to run away. Everyone just wants the best for you. Who knows what would happen to you if no one was watching, so don't be reckless like that again. Okay, then I'll stay here, Rimuru said helplessly as she sat down. At this moment, Rimuru couldn't display her full strength. She was under the supervision of the organization, so she had to be managed like this. Shidhu was walking until he got interrupted by someone else's voice. Era, how rare a sight. Usually when I get pulled here, I never meet anyone but the ast. It was the spirit standing in the roof in front of Shido. She had emerald-colored hair and eyes. She wore a purple semi-transparent suit with star patterns all over it. A belt is hung at her waist and some articles of cloth are attached to it. She wears a cape and a witch hat with a pair of bat wings and a belt with a gemstone attached to its front. The spirit immediately got Rimuru's attention, and as expected of Seal. Report. The spirit in the monitor is Natsumi Kiyoyuno, or witch. The spirit then suddenly jumped in front of Shidhu. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm not going to eat you or anything, the spirit said with a seductive voice. Shidhu was clearly nervous while looking at her. You're actually kinda cute, she said, then putting her hand on his chin. Why are you in a place like this? Aren't there alarms to take shelter when a spirit appears? She asks. That's. Before Shidhu could continue talking, he got cut off by Kotori. Shido, our choices, Kotori said. On the main screen, the options appeared. 1. For one reason only. To meet you. 2. I don't know. I escaped late and ended up here. 3. Since you're here, can I fondle your boobs? Make your choice, everyone, Kotori said. The screen immediately showed the results. 25% option 1. 75% option 2, 0% option 3. Rimuru thought to herself, oh. So this is how they work. Wait, why is there option number 3? Luckily, no one chose it. At least you can still trust these people a little. Option 2, huh? It has some truth to it. Though, I'm shocked. Not a single person chose 3. Figured Kanazuki at least would pick that as a joke, Kotori said. Budding breasts are supreme. Such floppy boobs don't interest me. If it was to lick the back of her knee, I'd have second thoughts, but. Before he could continue, Kotori interrupted him by dropping her lollipop on his head. No, thank you very yes, and he fell down on the floor. Shido, number 2. Say it with puppy eyes as best as you can, Kotori said. Why? Such a thought crossed Shido's mind. What's the matter? The spirit asks. I don't know. I escaped late and ended up here. Shido said as best as he could with the puppy eyes. Is that so? What's your name? The spirit asks. Shido Itsuka. Shido-kun then. Such a cute name. I'm Natsumi. Though I guess some of you folks are calling me witch. A sudden introduction by the spirit. Ms. Natsumi? Shido asks, confused. That sounds so stiff. Natsumi is fine. Then she started walking towards him. Hey, Shido. Oni-san here wants to ask you a little something, may I? Sure, go ahead. He was even more nervous. Do you think that I'm pretty? Her question was unexpected to Shido. Why yeah. I think you're very pretty, Shido said with a bit of hesitation. I knew it. What specifically, Shido? What part of Big Sis do you think is pretty? Natsumi asks as she puts her hands on his shoulder. That's your almond eyes. How your nose is straight. Your feminine style. He was just saying what came to his mind first. What else? What else? She was asking for more, so eagerly. And your hair is so silky, Shido said. Yes, Shido, you're right on the money. She hugged him hard, and it made him flustered. Right. He had no choice but to endure it. I knew it. This me is pretty, Natsumi said with a low tone. Shido. It's the ast, Kotori said to Shido. Shido and Natsumi noticed them. The ast started to use their missiles at the spirit witch. Shido screamed, but Big Sis was there for him. It's okay. Natsumi then brought out her angel, Hanyel. Let's get to work, Hanyel. Her angel had the shape of a witch broom. Suddenly, the missiles that were coming straight at them turned into carrots. They landed and only did a puny explosion. At Fraxinus, Rimuru was wondering what her angel was all about. While observing, she was startled by Ciel's voice. Answer. Her angel is able to transform objects or subjects, and also has the unique ability of sending things into a different dimension through a mirror, Ciel said. Ciel, you startled me. Wait. Different dimension? She can do that? Rimuru asks. Yes, she just hasn't used it yet, Ciel said. Oh, I see, Rimuru said. That's. Shido was confused about what her angel could do. Take this. Natsumi's angel forms a rainbow and goes straight to the ast. The attack went through their shield and their suit turned into pig customs. Come, Shido. Let's escape while we can. You'll give Big Sis a lot more compliments, won't you? Natsumi asks. She was clearly eager. Yeah. I don't mind doing that, but, before Shido could continue talking. They were interrupted by a stray missile, which had become a carrot exploded near where Natsumi and Shido were standing and threw dust into the air. This shock caused them to temporarily close their eyes. Some of the dust got up into Natsumi's nose and caused her to sneeze. The surveillance camera is inoperable, said by Bad Marriage Kawago. We'll restore it briefly, Shizaki said. Didn't see that coming. You okay, Natsumi? Shido asks until he gets interrupted by Kotori's voice. Shido, it's an emergency. Natsumi's happiness meter is plummeting. The alarm was going off. You saw, right? Natsumi asks with an angry tone. Shido confused as to what she's talking about. Don't play dumb, you saw my. Unforgivable. You won't get away with it. She was clearly furious. Shido Itsuka. Your life. It's about to be over for good. Natsumi's declaration made Shido even more confused. Without delaying anymore, she flew away with her broom. Why did she just vanish like that? Shido still had no clue on what just happened. End, Chapter 13.